This is another in our short series of management histories. This one is called Speaking Nicely. Part 1 by Keith Small of the Muscombe History Group channel. A short history of the way we say. When we are talking, we are negotiating or informing, consulting or explaining. Negotiating is the practice of trying to find a mutual agreement between parties by the exchange of information. Each of the parties is both a sender and a receiver, sending an input into a growing cloud of knowledge and taking from that feedback to make sense of the mutual agreement that is forming. Informing is the practice of sending information to a receiver with the expectation that it will be understood, but with little or no feedback to check the result. The sender and the receiver are joined by information with no control over the understanding that is forming in the receiver's mind. Informing is often referred to as one-way communication. Consulting is essentially the process of getting information from another person that will be used to achieve a clearer understanding of a given situation. The consultant usually asks questions which are responded to by the subject, and the consultant forms an understanding of the situation. Explaining is the act of changing another person's understanding by an exchange of information and feedback, a two-way transfer of information. The sender sends information to the receiver, and the receiver gives feedback, so that the understanding formed in the receiver's mind can be shaped as the discussion goes on. Explaining might also be considered as teaching or training. Informing and explaining tended to be the primary method of communication for management, with information cascading down through the organization structure. Nowadays, technology has made two-way explanation much easier to achieve, but management still often deprives itself of feedback. Management should plan to get feedback whenever this is practical, but it often perceives feedback as criticism. Informing usually requires some preparation and a sense of empathy with the expected receiver. The information should be broken up into topics and themes that can be absorbed by the receiver. Structure the message so that the ideas are logical. Where possible, convey your information visually, in pictures, etc. Where possible, also try to link your information to something with which the receiver will already be familiar. Say what you're going to say the beginning, say it, the middle, and say what you said, the end. Present your message slowly and steadily. Be the tortoise and not the hare. When explaining, make sure everyone involved understands how you want the feedback to be transferred. When do you want the feedback? At any time, or when you ask for it, or only at the end? Do you want questions, or do you want any comments the receiver may wish to make? Or do you want your explanation to be a conversation? Again, where possible, use pictures, charts, maps, diagrams, etc. A picture can still be worth 1,000 words. Try to make sure each topic or theme is clearly understood before continuing to the next. When the other person's understanding is important, make sure the message is short enough to be absorbed and has the appropriate emphasis without distractions. Then check the understanding. One-way information includes letters, books, memos, posters, emails, diagrams, charts, pictures, talks, addresses, speeches, and two-way information includes the telephone, conference calls, ceremonials, CCTV, closed-circuit television, computer conferencing, virtual meetings, physical meetings, debate, conversation, discussion, argument. Negotiate, inform, consult, explain. The nice way of speaking. Negotiate and consulting will be in part 2 of these programs. Bye for now.